What's going on, all man? Thanks for tuning in once again. Dre's channel. So Oscar Valdez against Stevenson. Um, Fight is in the process. Apparently, it's going to be in April, around April. In negotiations at the moment. This is great, A lot of people thought that Valdez was trying to avoid Stevenson, but clearly he's not. I mean, you've seen him in his last fight. You all know that he did fail drug enhancements or an enhancement test, but he still could fight on, and it was a tough fight. If anything, he was lucky to get the win. So, I mean, he has a lot to prove here. He has to fight the best at the moment. The best is Shakur Stevenson. He is ranked number one. So there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, people are saying. But the thing is, Valdez isn't hiding or running anywhere. He wants this fight as much as Stevenson does. This is a unification fight. So the WBO and the WBC is on the line for this fight. It should be a good one. I think, if you look at power-wise, Valdez has the most power. You look at the knockout ratios, 77% to 50%, in Valdez's favor. You all know that Valdez got the knockout of the year. So, I mean, and he was fighting a guy with a higher knockout ratio, Burchout, a guy that was, you could say was in his prime, a guy that people thought that he was going to win that fight. People thought that Burchout would beat Valdez, and Valdez pulled off the knockout of the year. So, I mean, he's definitely a force, Valdez. He didn't look too good in his last fight, though. But, that's because, the guy that he fought just clearly outboxed him, didn't allow him to do what he needed to do. Where Burchout came in full speed ahead, was going for the knockout. When you're going for a knockout, you're always going to see knockouts in the fight. If both guys are going for the knockout, it's likely to see a knockout, especially if they are over 70% knockout ratio, which in this case both of them were. So I mean, Valdez pulled that off, man. He pulled off the knockout of the year. Then obviously failed the drug enhancement test. So I mean, a lot of people looking down on Valdez now, and Valdez has a lot to prove for sure. Like I just stated before, he's got a lot to prove. He's not hiding. He wanted this fight. In his last fight, he said, "I want to fight the winner of Shakur and Herring." Now Shakur, I mean, 24 years old, man. What else can I say? It seems like he's getting better with each fight, especially with the Herring fight. I did say he was 36, but he's still, at the end of the day, an experienced Herring, a good contender for Shakur. Probably his hardest test, man, and he really did dominate that really well. He ended up even winning by stoppage, which is great to see. For a guy with a 50% knockout ratio, it shows that he's got more than just skill, and he's got the ability to finish the job. He's got the ability to close the show, and but when it comes to skill and all that, man, defense and all that, he's gonna need that against Valdez. But mainly, he's gonna need to let his hands go. Don't allow Valdez to land anything too clean on him. Establish the jab as soon as you can, man. Push him back. And another thing that Shakur does really well is he's really good at body shots, and it seems that Valdez doesn't really react to body shots that well. He's more of a guy that tries to go for the knockout. You've seen him lack against the skillful fighters. So, I mean, if Shakur breaks down the body, slows down his momentum, man, I see Shakur winning this fight by unanimous decision here. For Valdez, he's going to have to find a way to knock him out. There's the only way to win is to knock out Shakur. He's not going to outbox him, that's for sure. He's going to have to listen to his countryman, Canelo here. Canelo really did tell him off in that last fight. He told him, "Listen, man, you got to be patient. You got to, you got 12 rounds here. You know, you got 12 rounds, and you got to, you know, go in there. Don't worry about the first couple of rounds, man. Just, you know, find the opening, and this is what he's going to need against Shakur. You know, he can't worry about points here. You know, he's got to go for the knockout, without a doubt. But this is going to be a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to this one. Another unification. I believe that Valdez has a lot to lose here. His reputation's on the line for sure. If Shakur really does handle him, man, people are going to say, you know, you're a cheater, man. You're not a champion. So, I mean, this is a very important fight for Valdez. For Shakur, man, if he wins, sky's the limit. He's only 24 years old. I'm wondering if he is going to try to get the undisputed, but I mean, he could easily move up to 135 and be a big threat to any of those guys, for sure. But I'm looking forward to this fight, man. Let's see if Shakur is ready for Valdez, for that sort of power. And let's see if Valdez can handle Shakur's skills, technique, movement, everything, man. Because he has all that. So let's see what happens, man, with this fight. And hopefully we can hear some great news coming up that it's going to be announced for April. And chuck another one in for the calendar, man. Another one for the books, as I always say. But that's all I got to say, man. Thanks for tuning in once again, Jay's channel. As always, man, look forward to hearing back from you, man. Leave a comment. Peace. God bless.